Oh, we're muted. We're not muted anymore.
Oh.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Put a one in the chat if you want to talk about parasites.
Y'all want to talk about parasites? Say hi, YouTube world.
No.
Oh,
No.
oh, Hannah, it's not a kid.
I'm not a child.
She is not a child.
You're pretty much a child.
Yeah. A full-grown legal child. Anyways. So I guess everybody wants to talk about parasites. You know, humans can be parasites too. I think a lot of people act like the parasites that are inside their body, and they don't even know it. Bye. Nasty foul pest. Government's a parasite. You know, that kind of makes you wonder about the macro part of reality. Maybe if we killed all our parasites, then the main parasites would sort of die off, sort of like vampires when you kill off the head vampire.
Right.
All the vampires die.
Is that how it goes?
I don't know. The world should give it a try. Hey, everybody. Hey, Leslie, Sally Forth, Sassy.
Congratulations, Leslie.
What'd you see?
She's a moderator.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because she's a chief smackaho herself. She's awesome. She's total team smackaho. I see her smacking hoes all over the place. I love it.
Yeah, she'll smack them.
She'll smack some hoes. We're going to ride at dawn one morning together, probably. We're not going to talk about it. We'll be about it.
You'd have to wake up at dawn for that.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, brain-eating amoebas and nanotechnology in the water supplies and food. Yep. Here, pin that for a second so people can actually see that. So I see a lot of YouTubers are parasites, and they require a host to feed off of. And I like using that as an example. A lot of you wanted me to come on and, talk about health matters and stuff like that. So I figured we'd talk about how to start with good health by cleansing yourself of the parasites in your physical life, your spiritual life, your emotional life, and your YouTube life. I mean, you guys can all see that it does have a mental effect on some people to be attacked by parasites that are literally trying to just eat people alive.
I guess that makes YouTube the host. Is that?
Well, I don't know. Maybe. Nano dust in the baby formula industry. I know. It's so sad. I wish more mothers who do breastfeed would feel more comfortable about feeding their neighbor's baby if in the event that there's a baby that's hungry and the food supply is corrupted and contaminated. Of course, if you have a baby, you should always try to breastfeed, but, things happen. Not all mamas can.
Especially now.
Mm-hmm.
Especially now. There's a lot of problems caused by a lot of the processed foods that we eat.
Yep.
Those aren't the only problems, of course. A lot of problems.
You really got to ask about your government when they start poisoning the babies, and it's so obvious they have to clear the shelves because they're disgrace and embarrassment. And liability really is all they care about them.
Is that what it's about?
Well, they're caught.
That's why there's no formula?
There were medals. I think.
There's always been metals. We've always had to check our formula for aluminum.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, have y'all seen those tests where they take the magnets and stick it in a thing of formula and pull it out? And there's people are like, oh, it's just the iron. Okay, yeah, you want to just shave some cast iron down the baby's throat? Okay.
It's not supposed to be in that big of a
That's
particle.
not how
right?
that works.
That is,
Yeah. Yeah, that's not how your babies get the iron. Yeah, the mystery made at McDonald's is especially creepy. It's like 1 billion people served. What's that? Finkelstein? What's his name?
I just had it up. I can find it.
All right, I gotta go fix that. Oh Lord. Hey, what's up? I'm on live.
I'm gonna mute out.
Sorry, guys, we're back. That was kind of an emergency. Someone really needed some CBD and hug and stuff, so they called and asked me to come out and bring them some CBD. So I did. But what have you guys been talking about in here? Well, y'all just been chit-chatting away together. I love seeing that. I love seeing people get along and being nice and learning from each other.
You do?
Yes, I love that. That's what we're here for. We all want to grow and be happy. We want children to be happy. Everybody's just talking to each other. Y'all got any questions? We'll do open question. We kind of just came up because everybody was asking us to and said, please go live. And we were like, well, we don't have anything prepared because we like to have a show ready. And we do have some things, a lot of things that are going on, but we really can't tell you guys about them yet because we have trolls and they ruin everything. They're like parasites. They come in and they it's like all your life force and energy and they'll just go reproduce all over the place. And they multiply like gremlins when you get them wet. Go lower. Let's see the bottom of the chat. See if anybody's asking any questions. I know you guys got questions, or people wouldn't have been asking us to please go live. Trolls are bottom feeders. They're the bottom of the sewer.
Some people just want to watch something that's not vile.
Maybe that's true.
I'll tell you what I do. I watch like car restoration videos, and recently there's been a bunch of like not welding, but like metal forging videos come up. I don't know why, but they're super interesting.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever need a break from everything else that's on YouTube.
Well, no, the best videos are those kids that build pools.
Yeah, those little Cambodian kids that just like dig pools and houses and just make mud stuff in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
In like 10 minutes on fast speed. It's super badass.
It's super badass. But let's see. Oh man, I snorted snot up my nose. Somebody's gonna say I was on drugs.
Wow. How'd it feel?
Same as snorting any kind of snot. I was gonna pull this up because Larry sent me this. We should
lower the volume.
Yeah.
Do you want to send it? I can put stuff up on this.
Yeah, let me send this to you because I think this is relevant.
Right.
This is a parasite that they found in the Pfizer vaccine. So, which is kind of interesting because we've been doing a little deep dive on Pfizer and how Pfizer potentially pays trolls to go to Facebook and social media and YouTube sites. I sent it to you.
You sure?
Oh no, I double sent it to him. Duh. That was stupid.
How do you know if you have parasites? Is there, if there's something wrong with you, you probably have parasites. And if there's not something wrong with you, then you probably have parasites. Because everybody has parasites.
Yeah.
Of some kind.
No, all my teachings, I've trained most of my life with natural health care practitioners, some of them even famous people. And all of them believe that the root to all illness, no matter what it is just a symptom of parasites and fungus within the body. And if you kill the parasites and the fungus and you have plenty of probiotics, then the body often will recover and fix itself to the best of its ability, you know, depending on how severe your damage from having these organisms inside your body has wreaked on your bones and your organs and such. But not to say every disease is parasite, but
Some people believe that.
I mean, there's some pretty good evidence that the root to all illness starts with a parasite, and actually it starts with fungus, and then your body gets so unhealthy, and it's always fighting off the fungus that parasites then invade. Because a healthy body is not always fighting off a fungus or something. You know, parasites are everywhere, and a healthy body would fight them off. But and especially if you had good gut bacteria, that good gut bacteria is like the intestinal soldiers, and they take care of parasites before they really take in and reproduce. But the more fungus you have, the weaker your body gets, and so every other organism just can easily multiply. But check out this creature that is in the Pfizer vaccine.
Estas que te digo yo, estas que son así, son todas este modelo. Eso yo no sé si es contaminación o qué, pero hay hizo un planta de una. Por eso digo que si hay alguien que sea experto en estas cosas, que lo diga.
En botánica, un botánico.
Exactamente. Mira, porque hay muchas. Esto me ha salido en la primera muestra que cogí, que la he dejado a ver si se seca toda, y me han aparecido estas cosas. Pero esto no se parece a polen ni a nada. Por eso digo, ¿esto es contaminación o qué es esto? Esto tengo mis dudas, pero ahí está. Por si acaso ya os lo confirmaré esto. Fíjate qué modelo tiene, ¿eh? Y mira, esto lo que me hace sospechar que las carbonillas esas famosas sueltan esos especie como de tubos, filamentos o no sé qué, que nacen de ellas. Y por eso he sacado la foto, porque digo, pero no surgirá todo esto de las carbonillas estas que luego cobran vida o qué es eso. Hay más, si te das cuenta, ves otra. ¿Te das cuenta? Que se parecen. Son cosas. En fin, lo confirmaré cuando añadí esta muestra de esta noche. Estas son de la primera muestra, que han ido surgiendo en los últimos días han aparecido estas imágenes. Tengo que confirmar si esto es contaminación o es otra cosa que surge al cabo de unos días de eso.
Madre mía.
Sí. Tiene pinta de planta, ¿verdad? Como si fuera una especie como de plantas ahí. Eso ya, dejarlo ahí entre, como de lado, dejarlo ahí. Y ahora, esto ya es de la nueva muestra que tengo con el cubreobjeto sobre la gota, con lo cual ahí ya no hay posibilidad de contaminación. Esto es uno de los microchips de estos, está la foto de 10 aumentos y la anterior es la de 40.
Fíjate
Esta es una,
aquí,
esa de 40, esa para que veáis que esa estructura anterior no es un cristal de ningún tipo de sacarosa, sino que es un cristal, es una placa de estas, un microchip, esto es lo que se llama un nanochip.
Fíjate.
¿Veis la escotadura que hace ahí? Es para que veáis la reproducción de...
Increíble. Bueno, pues esto es la vacuna de Pfizer.
otra más, otra de las visiones para que veáis que de lejos parece a lo mejor, pero de cerca te das cuenta que es, pues eso, nanotecnología. Eso es una estructura extraña que he visto que tenía forma como de pirámide, con varias, muy extraña. Y le he hecho una foto, no sé exactamente qué es eso, no lo sé. No sé.
Otra.
Es otro nanochip de estos microchips. Y ahí esto es una cinta, pero muy amplia, hacía un círculo y le hice la captura de la pantalla en los dos extremos, porque luego se hace como un bucle y parece que pudiera ser como una... esto no es una gota, sino es los extremos
Sí.
se prolongan ahí. Hice la foto partida porque era tan grande que no podía cogerla todo de la misma. Y ahí está otra de las supuestas plantas, que esto ya sé seguro que no es contaminación, porque he hecho de esta nueva que está cubierto el portaobjetos con un cubreobjetos, aquí ha aparecido una famosa planta de estas como os enseñé en las otros días. ¿Lo veis?
Ay,
Y ahora esta, la más espantosa,
eh,
esta
esto
es una más
es.
pequeñita, y luego esa y otras son las más espantosas que he visto. Ahí lo tenéis. Esto ha
Madre mía.
aparecido al día siguiente de hacer la muestra. Lo hice ayer por la noche y esta tarde mirando el microscopio la he pillado. Luego eso no ha crecido, estaba ya en la gota.
Aquí
Ahí
se ve
lo
con menos
desde
aumento, ¿no? Desde
a
lejos.
10 aumentos de eso, así. Y luego hay otra, a ver si la vemos, esa es terrible, esa es de A40, que
Esta
son
no.
sí, y ahora la veis de lejos. Eso es que es demasiado grande también, ahí se ven los pliegues que hacen esas, yo qué sé si son hojas o qué cojones es eso, y ahora la veis desde lejos. Horrible también. Ahí
Ahí.
está. Eso.
Qué barbaridad.
Eso no son microchips, ¿sabes? Eso es otra cosa. Así que si
Bueno,
la gente se queja de que le pasan cosas, pues de que como que nos pase, como que nos pase. Va de momento grafeno, va microchip, pueden ir nanochips, va esto que os he sacado al principio, que son esa especie como de, pues, parecen, no sé ni lo que es eso. Eso vamos a considerar que eso es contaminación, pero esto que habéis visto no lo es. Seguro, seguro, porque esto yo conforme la hice la tapé rápido para que no se contaminase y eso está protegido. Lo otro primero que habéis visto, me parece que no es contaminación, pero hasta que no vea lo que pasa en esta gota de ahora, no lo garantizo. Estaré vigilando a ver si aparecen las mismas formas, porque esas pequeñitas me da la sensación del principio que van a aparecer en esta gota también con el tiempo. Pero
seguro.
bueno,
Y
prefiero
ahí
no
descartará.
avanzar.
All right, so there you have it.
That was interesting.
That was very interesting. We saw that for the first time with you guys. Not wild. We do have our own experiment, though, that we did at home that we want to share with you. A friend of ours is a nurse, and she actually brought the COVID nose test swab. Okay. And I'll show you what we found. We found it with a little endoscope. So this is our video, and we want to share it with you.
This one.
Yep. I don't know where the other one is. I was looking for it.
This one's a lot more like.
All right. So here's the little evil bastard.
All right.
Oh man, the red lights are.
You want me to turn the lights on?
That's fine.
All right, there we go. Turn that.
That'll work.
See what happens.
You need lights?
Yeah, I
Breathe
can't
on it.
see it now for some
All right,
reason.
wait. All right. Turn them dim.
Oh, wait.
All right. There we go. Now breathe on it. Oh my
Damn it.
fucking.
Wait, I don't have a video. Now go, please.
Look at that evil
I got some
bastard.
fucking textile.
Looking to
fucking
get
fabric.
inside his lung.
Okay, now one more time, please. I'm sorry.
Oh, look.
Whoa.
Holy shit.
Hey, can you zoom in
Oh
on
my
it?
gosh, watch it.
Look
is,
at it.
Like still thriving.
It is looking to go inside your face.
Yeah,
That one moves. It's way more
Yeah,
lively.
That's a little better.
That's insane.
Watch it.
Holy shit! It hates that. It's like loving that. not
No,
hating
it's
it.
looking to
trying
go
numb.
into his
Yeah,
face.
it wants.
Yeah, it's attracted
It's gonna
to it.
swim
Yep,
to
That's insane.
where this carbon dioxide's coming from.
Oh my gosh.
Are you breathing in and out on it?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I mean that's
Just out.
crazy.
This is the
That's-
fucking mask you have to wear every day. You need to quit your fucking job. It's not worth it.
Well, the point now is to figure out how to kill these things.
Yeah.
You know?
I know. Well, we need to go get the Rive machine.
Is it not here?
It's in the back.
Yeah.
It's radio frequencies. It's different than this.
Okay, one more time. Whoa, that's
Wow.
insane. It wants
I know
out
that.
of there.
Holy
I've
shit.
never seen it move that much until now.
Dude,
That
stick your
is
finger
creepy
near
as
it. See if it
hell.
like comes toward your
That is so
finger.
creepy. I want to put spit on a Q-tip and like a good drop
whoa,
of
whoa,
spit
whoa.
and lay it
Stop.
down the
Blood.
side of it.
Yes, let's do blood.
Hey,
All right,
Tina,
pause.
get on it. Get
Pause
on it, Tina.
Pause it.
Pause what?
Video.
Oh.
Stop.
We're fighting. Okay. That wasn't the swab. That was the mask. The swab one. Oh, I gotta find the swab one. The swab one was the two
There's way more.
where
than
their
that.
butts were connected. It was two of them, and then when, it wasn't when you blew on it. It was when you vapored on it. You'd have to go like that. If you went, they didn't do anything. So you're not blowing it. But if you go like that, these things would just like stand up like serpents. And it made me think of the serpent prophecy stuff, you know. But they acted just like serpents. And then if I can find the test swab that they actually stick up your nose, it was two, and their butts were connected. And then when I blew into it, they both like stood their heads up, and they were working independently with each other. Like they looked like cobras or something, but they were just like long, flat, black, fibrous things.
We didn't test any diapers. We tested masks. We tested.
No, we did do diapers.
Did we do a diaper?
Yes, we did diapers.
Okay.
Yeah, Violet.
I remember
has
doing the COVID
those for
swab.
sure.
We did the few different COVID swabs, and looked at those for a while.
We did a diaper, and remember the diaper looked like it looked like little spider mites.
Mm.
And it was like the insides of the diaper were, it was like weird nano webbing, but these little mites would come towards the moisture. But now those would actually come towards the moisture. Like if you put something wet on it, then these little things would go towards it. We even found little things that look like fluid filled eggs. Were you not here when me and Violet were looking
Yeah, I
at
remember
those?
those things.
Yeah. So yeah, we did do a diaper. It's really strange, guys. And you can buy one of those endoscopes for like $50 or $60. The nicer ones are like $100. That you just plug into your computer. And here, let me grab it. I'll show you what it looks like.
They're pretty cool. I think they're what they use to like look in your ears and stuff at the doctor's office. It's like a little pen. It's like this big, tiny little camera at the end, and you can put it in very small areas.
See? This is what it looks like.
Take the
And-
cord off it.
It's got a here. Yeah, I'll show you.
Yeah, it's just the pen. All that comes off.
Yeah, no. But it comes with a disc that you can download into your computer that you can do all kinds of video editing and software with your little endoscope if you get one of the nicer packages. But so it just sits and you plug it into your computer, and then you can just sit and have a little microscope, digital microscope view of whatever you want to look at. And you really should get one of these. It comes with little ear things, little plastic tips
Mm-hmm.
that you can look into ears and noses. So it's kind of a cool thing to have around. And you can find creepy little Magellans. If you guys don't know about Magellans, you should look up Magellans as well. Okay, we want to introduce you guys to someone that I think you guys should really watch this guy. We're gonna just give you the first intro and give you a link in here. But if you want to learn the real deal about parasites and why people act like parasites, this guy is truly amazing. And he has some solid stuff. And, you know, this show's for people who really want to get to the root of their problems.
Yeah, this guy's pretty awesome. We've been watching him for years. His name is Harold Kautz-Vella,
Mm-hmm.
and he's very German and sometimes hard to understand, but I think you guys will like him. Sure.
Great to see you, sir. And we're rolling. And commence your presentation.
Okay, I will give my best.
And welcome to Harold.
As you heard, I'm coming from Germany, and I did science half of my life, and I worked as a journalist the other half of my life, writing articles, books for about 1.5 years in film business. So I saw a little bit of the world and many different topics. So I'm a little bit trained in interconnecting and understanding more complicated fields of research. This is maybe my core quality. And I started to deal with environmental monitoring when I was in Norway. Actually, I was working in Norway in the field of electrosensitivity for a company supplying measuring material like this one and shielding materials and giving courses for the people to understand what is happening if somebody becomes electrosensitive. And when I was there, I kind of was asked to look at chemical analysis of dying plants and the rainwater that caused the plant death and soil samples, because the farmers realized they're losing parts of their harvest that year. It was 2012, but they didn't know why. So they went to the labs, and then they had the lab results and they couldn't read it. They saw values, but they didn't even know what should have been on these papers. So they addressed me as a little bit crazy scientist from Germany and asked for help. And since then, I'm working on this chemtrail topic. And I think we looked through it now. It took quite a while to understand the different, let's say, the different agendas behind it, because it is not a single agenda. It's not a single group that has interests and is doing something to get what they want. It is a kind of onion-like structure of different groups who have different interests. And the longer you research on the topic, the more layers you discover. So what I'm trying to do today is kind of to dive through this onion-like structure and to try to give you a picture of those different agendas behind chemtrailing. There are two things I'm not going to do, and where I really would ask everybody who is discussing the topic, don't stare into the sky and try to figure out whether the thing you see is a chemtrail or a contrail. It leads to nothing. It's a fruitless discussion, and we cannot solve this from down here. You cannot grab the stuff up there. You cannot make a chemical analysis. Just staring at it is hopeless. And the other thing that took me about 1 year, one lost year, is to deal with chemical analysis. This has one reason. If you make chemical analysis, you take a substance and dilute it in acids, and then whatever is dissolved by the acid can be analyzed. And what you get is metal values. You don't have a clue, if you did that, about the chemistry you analyzed or the crystal structure you analyzed, because everything that is dissolved, is gone, and all you have is the metal. This is one problem. You don't really see what you have. And the other problem is that not everything is soluble in acids. And actually, the entire core technologies that we could discover later, if you check them in the lab, they are all completely resistant to acids. So there's no chance to get the real McCoy by chemical analysis. So those are two things I'm going to completely skip, also out of time reasons. I want to enter the entire picture from a different angle for today. And this is if we have somebody who is doing things in secret. It's not published in the newspapers. He will not talk about it in public. Then you have the other side of the game, that somebody is trying to figure out what is happening. And then there comes this ugly word, conspiracy theory, and one feels isolated.
You stand closer to the podium because it's better lit that way.
Here, okay.
Thank you.
No, I dropped it.
Sorry.
If you're confronted with this thing that you might be a conspiracy theorist, then this is something emotional. Nobody wants to stand outside society. Nobody wants to be the weird guy. So this is basically an ugly argument that is used to make people shut up. So this can be fought with a few very, very not rational, just clever moves. We want to talk about chemtrails. So the first question that comes up to my mind is, where does this word come from? And this is a question that is beyond theory, because you can find out where the word comes from. And it comes from soldiers of the US Army, mostly US Air Force, who brought this word into the English language because they were sitting at the US Air Force Academy, attending classes of the chemical faculty. And one of the classes is the chemtrail class. This is kind of, when you study at this university, the class where you learn how to make chemtrails. Yeah. This doesn't touch the question, do chemtrails exist up in the sky or not? The only thing we can answer by looking at this chemtrail class is we can see this is a military technology. We don't know if it is applied or not, but we can study the technology because it's taught at the university. And this manuscript is a little bit hard to read. It's like 260 pages, roundabout that. And basically, it's examination questionnaires. So there's not a single answer in it, but there are thousands of questions. And when you take this manuscript and answer all the questions from these examinations, then you gather the knowledge. And from this knowledge, like with a jigsaw puzzle, you can back engineer what chemtrailing is. And basically, the topics they are dealing with is aluminum coating of plastic surfaces is a big issue. And the synthesis of nylon fibers especially. This is one part of this chemtrail class. And if you want to know what this is good for, there's one military application called spoofer sprays. These are aluminum coated nylon fibers, and they use it to hide planes from radar detection. This is not a big secret. It is officially admitted by state authorities that at certain NATO maneuvers in the sky, they use these spoofer sprays to train to hide airplanes. So this is one part that is described in this manuscript. The other half is a little bit more difficult to read and to analyze. It very, very much looks like that they're talking about spray pyrolysis, which is the production of crystalline nanoparticles in a combustion process. This is something that is done in industry when you want to produce certain types of nanoparticles. It is a very cheap and very efficient way to produce nanoparticles. And there are two ways in industry and in this manuscript. One possibility is you take like metal salts that you can solute in water, and then you take this water and run it through a ultrasound nozzle that is kind of turning it into millions of very, very small droplets. And these droplets are brought into a flame. And then the water evaporates, and the salt content of the little droplet forms a small dust particle. And if the flame is hot enough, it will eventually melt and recrystallize. And depending on the temperature and on the droplet sizes, you can create crystalline particles, you can create amorphous particles. This is one possibility that is within the range of spray pyrolysis. The other possibility is not to use water, but to directly use combustible liquids like methane or whatever. I think methane is within the US military the first choice. And then you don't even need a secondary ultrasound nozzle. You can use the ultrasound nozzles that create the vapor that is burned within a jet engine. So this is basically the chemical and technical knowledge that is taught in the chemtrail class. So we get a first idea what this technology is about. We still don't know if it is used regularly, if it is used sometimes, if this is something that is meant for wartime and in peacetime, nobody even touches these technologies. We just learned something about the technology. Now, when you see how successful this way of looking at things is, we answered many questions where other people were searching, talking, discussing years and years and came to no fruitful conclusions. There's something that is very, very intelligent. If you have somebody that might have plans he doesn't want you to know, it is a very good thing to go to the places where these people are alone among each other and talk about what they do. Yeah? Then you can listen and understand what they plan. Actually, there's no other way to find out what's happening. So I started to get interested in internal papers of certain agencies. And there was one stupid mistake done by some network specialists in NASA. They published an internal paper. I think it's like 12, 15 years ago. That was classified, and it appeared for 2 days in the public domain of the main NASA website. And some people just by incident found it and copied the paper. And since then, actually, this is public domain. It's brought out every now and then. It's discussed by people every now and then. It's not like a text that is giving a full description of what they are doing. Basically, it's just a PowerPoint that is displaying certain core terminologies. This is the paper in the original form. And the title is a little bit funny. It's Future Strategic Issues for Future Warfare. And they project this on the year 2025 as if they talk about future technologies. And then you have a very big, very small subtitle, The Future is Now. Now I'm a bit confused. Is it now or is it in 15, 20 years that this is going to be brought out. If you go into the entire thing, you find a number of irritating statements. This is kind of the second page, the little one on top. Bots, borgs, and humans. Welcome to the future. Bots is short term for nanobots, nanorobots. Borgs is a term coming from Star Wars. No, not Star Wars. The Star Trek filming. It's the species that is assimilating other species by turning them into half computer, half being. And humans, I guess they mean themselves, the one who are not affected by those games and rule the entire thing afterwards. And they just name a number of technologies that are going to be used in future wars. And they explicitly say the war of the future is not in between countries. They expect to have a world government. So the war happening on this planet is between the government and the normal people. And this completely different type of war will need completely different weapons. And then they list all those weapons. And
Okay, Harold.
Pause, Harold.
There we go.
We love Harold.
Do you guys like Harold? I like
Harold is amazing.
Harold can be really German scientist sometimes.
Mhm.
Harold is very interesting.
But he's a super genius, and he is the man to turn to understand these parasites and how they were made. And he has all the lab evidence that supports everything. If you watch him, you'll see how he has black goo samples. He'll show you what black goo is. We put the link to Harold in the chat there. We highly recommend you click on that and save for later. He is truly, truly a gift to society. And I have forgotten, I haven't seen this one in so long. This is one of my favorite talks from him, though. But I have forgotten that it opened up with the chemtrails. The chemtrails are very important. And I know the trolls are going to go, oh, yeah, conspiracy theorists. But, you know, check out Harold, okay, and then judge for yourself. We're not telling you what to believe or how to believe. We're just telling you to look. And we're showing you some compelling evidence that supports things that we see. But the chemtrails are going to open up into some of the things I think is wrong with Cobb County. There is a, what is it? What mine was that? That Eric Prince has something to do with? Is it barium? Yeah, it's barium.
The one up here?
Yeah, barium mine in Cobb County.
I think it was a barium mine, but the problem was that they were storing explosive stuff improperly.
In a garden shed.
Improperly, well, all kinds of ways, like in barrels, just like out in the open, and things that weren't sealed really, and like they turned it into a what's called a super fund, where the EPA had to come in and do a massive cleanup of it, and it was a radioactive waste site for a very long time. It may still be, I don't know. I forget what that's called. What's it called? It's like,
I'm looking it up right now.
Something rock.
If you just look up,
It's in Newport, Tennessee. It's here.
yeah, Cobb County weapons of mass destruction. What was it called? It was in Del Rio. How
Del Rio?
much is in Del Rio?
I thought it was over off Edwana in Newport.
Was it?
I don't know. We'll find it. We'll post it. We posted about it before. It's been a while. It's been probably a couple of years or something.
Yeah. But yeah, so
But you were talking about the barium mine.
Yeah, the barium mine is barium's essential in the chemtrail projects, and there's a barium mine right here in Cott County. I haven't even looked in what kind of minerals are mined around Hawkins County. Have you guys looked into the minerals that are mined around Hawkins County at all? Or any of their lab facilities in Hawkins County? There's some really crazy stuff about Cott County. There was this Oak Ridge physicist that had ties with CERN that was found dead in the woods in Cott County. Nobody really knows about that. You would think these things would make national news.
They get scrubbed from the web instead.
Yeah. It just shows a lot of the really important news. It's just fake news, right? Conspiracy theorist. So we will be covering a lot when you follow us in the future. We just can't talk about some cases that we're working on and that we are sending information over to the FBI. We have some very big cases going right now. And it all kind of ties in to things that go on around Cott County and Hawkins County and Haywood County areas. Cott County is crazy. You know, I don't know if they use barium to keep these things that they spray on us active or alive or whatever. But if you really want to get into the whole rain collection data of the things that come out of the sky, just look up lab analyzed rainwater and then come back and call me a conspiracy theorist. Right? But a lot of these parasites definitely take control of the brain. And some people are injected with parasites and they don't even know it. Just as we showed the parasites that were just found in the Pfizer vaccine, you know, and I often wonder if, you know, some of these people who are vaccinated, if those parasites are actually controlling their behavior and they don't even mean to be the way that they are. And they just act like the parasites that they are just because they're self-replicating inside of them.
Well, that happens absolutely. I don't remember the name of the parasite or the worm that crawls into the snail. It's a parasite that snails get. And if you ever see a snail at the top of a flower going like this with its antennae, and it's got little red at the end of its antennae, it's a parasite inside the snail that's signaling to the bird to come and eat it so that the parasite can pass to the bird, which is its target host. So that's happen.
Actually in if you go in Nature's Nightmares on Animal Planet, and you can probably find it on YouTube, but it's Nature's Nightmares, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and it goes over that parasite that actually takes over the snail.
Yeah, it's freaky shit.
It's freaky shit.
And not all parasites are unnatural. You know, there's parasites everywhere and everything, and pretty much everybody has several types of parasites. But it's not something that doctors will usually tell you about. The hospitals can. I saw some of you guys' questions earlier. I'm trying to get to them. Hospitals can test you for parasites, for different types of parasites, but they're not always going to tell you that they're there unless you specifically ask for them. You have to know what questions to ask, and you also have to know that those are people that are going to give you answers.
I'll give you a little tip that's been going around in the parasite groups is that they have gone to colonoscopies and all that stuff, and they come back like, oh, there's nothing wrong with you. And people will take their own stool sample to the vet and say it's their dog's, and they'll ask them to do a full parasite analysis on it. And they'll come back full of parasites. They're like, I got an honest answer from my vet, but they thought it was my dog or my cat.
Yeah.
So that's one way too, to get around the loophole of the little, medical community that doesn't want to tell you have parasites, is to take a stool sample to your vet and tell your vet that it was your cat or your dog. And, oh, yay, Team Rose, you like Harold? Harold's one of my favorites.
Is that the same Harold? Harold Gord
Oh, wait.
or Guard?
Guard? Oh, no, that's not the same Harold.
Maybe he's
I'll have
got
to check him out.
different names. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know. Scientist Heralds are awesome, though.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of Heralds are awesome. But everything works on vibration and frequency, and everything communicates in vibration and frequency. And a lot of the attacks that we're seeing, we think are specifically frequency attacks. And a lot of parasites are activated based on signals that are sent from either microwave or radio frequencies. And that's all fact. Don't believe me, debunk me. Please go debunk me. Rather than just talk crap. Can you guys pull up some receipts where I'm just like in way left field over here when I say that? No, you can't. When you go to try to debunk me, you're going to learn that that's a fact. Like the parasites completely are activated or go dormant based on specific frequencies. And see, the brain communicates with all the system cells and functions within the body through sound frequency. That's why they call them organs. Like they're the organs. And, your organ can get out of tune. And we have to nurture ourselves. And that's going to bring me into the topic of, I see a lot of these people that are bashing us. I mean, we don't watch them, but we do, get the cliff notes on the things that are going on. I don't watch these people because they lower my vibration, and Xander is the most anti-drama, anti-bullshit human on the planet. And he only watches stuff for the funny shit that we can make fun of people for, which we do. We like to make fun of some of these people a lot because they're parasites or they're acting for their parasites and they need a host. And it's sad that certain people, they try to make their hosts. Well, they're not welcome here. And as you can see in our chat, they know they're not welcome. They're not here. They're over there looking for the drama. They're wanting us to talk bad about Ernie or something like that, or give them some information that they can just feed to their hungry, thirsty people.
Yeah,
but that's parasitic. I know, but I'm saying that because it's parasitic.
Well, I know.
And I just really want people to see the parasites and just not
I think they're starting
be
to.
a host to them. I think people are waking up, and I think they are seeing that there's a parasite problem for real. But we do not tell people to just not take drugs and things like that for mental illness or other problems neurologically or even physically. We do encourage people to learn about natural healing. We encourage people to learn about nutritional deficiencies and the effects that they have on your physical and emotional health. Sometimes you're just iron deficient, for real. Look up the symptoms of iron deficiency. I mean, a lot of times it's people's health problems that cause them to behave the way they do.
Mhm.
Well, thank you, Daisy Joe.
Some people aren't actually assholes. They just are made to be.
Right.
Sometimes.
Exactly. And we understand that. And, that's one of the reasons, we try to really encourage if if you are going to go the natural route, you know, that you have to be mindful. You have to take care of yourself. You have to have proper hydration. You have to have proper nutrition, and you have to be balanced. You can't just open the doorway to junk food and junk thoughts and, you know, abuse and things like that, and still become the spiritual person that you're meant to be. You know, you can't just bombard yourself with crap and expect beauty to sprout and flourish from the crap that you put in there. You know, you can't let these people win at the psychological war, because the ones who are winning the war when it comes to psychological war are literally parasites. And when you let them win, they become your masters. And who wants a parasite as a master? Like, who wants that? Nobody wants that. It is spiritual warfare. And, you know, parasites are demonic. I really don't think that parasites are of God. I think that they're the complete opposite. And that goes to Stranger Things. We love Stranger Things. Stranger Things is a documentary, and we believe that Stranger Things is literally a documentary of East Tennessee. Thanks to Oak Ridge. Oak Ridge, thank you so much for partnering with CERN, Switzerland, and building a particle collider in the Smoky Mountains. Yep, that's truth, and that's real. And some really freaky shit happens when you start playing with, you know, time continuums and stuff like that with Oak Ridge physicist.
Then you get interdimensional parasites.
Yes. Now, for any of you guys watching Stranger Things, and if you haven't, you know, watched Stranger Things yet, you really should. And if you look at the upside down, it is literally like the bowels of someone. Like, especially, was it the first season that it just really looked like the intestines that they were in, where they were,
I don't know.
yeah, they were trying to rescue Will. I think that was the first season, right?
Oh, and the kid went missing and stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And they were trying to find him.
Mhm.
And then they like faked the dead body and stuff like that. And he was really in the upside down, which the upside down totally looked like the guts of a person. And there were little
Oh, yeah.
critters
I
crawling
remember that.
around and worms and, you know, all these things. And that show really made us think, you know, the upside down is the parasite dimension, because we're dimensional, and NASA lies. And we get to go more into the NASA connection too. And that's why NASA attacks us. You guys have seen the NASA hose. There's more than one. It's a whole colony. It's like a NASA ho nation. They're dumpster fire alley right now, though. They're on the hunt for the RH factor.
Well, you want to
Yeah.
play this last thing?
Do what?
You want to play this last thing you sent me?
Yeah, and okay, guys, we're gonna sort of uplift you, but you know, take you off YouTube tonight. You're probably gonna go to bed like when we play this. But
Oh, it's gonna put him to sleep.
I mean, it
Which one is
might. It may encourage them to go channel hop and be spiritual, beautiful beings that like go out there to slay and then wake up positive and do great things in their real life. But what we're about to play for you is going to be our closer, and it's sound color therapy. And it's at 963 hertz, which is the crown chakra. Okay. This track has been tuned to 963 hertz in perfect harmonics. Oh, dang it. of 963 hertz. 963 hertz is a Falgio tone resonant with the crown chakra and can therefore be considered a frequency that can resonate with the pineal gland. This tone is said to bring one back to conscious awareness and the embodiment of one's divinity. All right. So if you're prone to seizures, don't look way deep into it. But, you know, discretion is advised. And we'd like to play this for you as our closer.
Here's this again, in case somebody missed it.
Yeah, there it is again. We love you guys. We really are on here to just help the situation. Don't believe the hype.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. We love you. Was that it?
Um,